Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Happy 2024 to everyone. So we've all heard stories of things on the moon and seen photos of what we think may be actually UFOs or UAPs on the moon. We've actually had video footage that people have shared too about particular objects on the moon. I've shared this in another video and you guys can see the shadow casting from there. This is a pretty interesting video here. But we've all heard of possible bases and stuff being on the back side of the moon. How true that is, we've never actually seen photos of it, but we know that that story has been told for a while. So I'm going to introduce you to two people. One's going to be actually here, Karl Wolfe. He's the one that actually in 2001 during the Stephen Greer, he had a disclosure meeting in 2001, and I'll link that to the description below, where he brought a lot of whistleblowers out to the front. They talked about a lot of different things. It's actually just mind-boggling and mind-blowing information that they talked about what these whistleblowers came forward with. They talked about several things. I mean, it's pretty interesting, and I'll do a breakdown of that video pretty soon, but I will put a link below in the description to his video, because one of these testimonies I'm actually going to extract from there. You'll hear a couple of minutes of this particular person talking about it, and then the other one's going to be William Tompkins as well. He's got a pretty interesting story. It's really short, but I'll let you guys listen to the audio for that. So let me go ahead, let me quit my yapping, and let's go ahead and listen to a couple of these testimonies.
Good morning. My name is Karl Wolfe, and I was a precision electronics photographic repairman with a top secret crypto clearance in the United States Air Force. I was stationed at Langley Air Force Base in Virginia. In 1965, in mid-1965, I was loaned to the Lunar Orbiter Project at NASA on Langley Field. Dr. Colley was in charge of that project. They had problems with a piece of electronic equipment that was bottlenecking their production of photographs. I went to the facility, and when I walked into the facility, there were scientists from all over the world. I was stunned actually to see people at a NASA project from all over the world. It didn't make any sense to me initially. I was taken into the laboratory where the equipment was malfunctioning. I couldn't repair it in the dark. I asked to have it removed. A airman second class was in the dark room at that time. I was also an airman second class. I was interested in how the whole process functioned, how the data got from the lunar orbiter to the laboratory. I asked the young man if he described the process to me. He did. About 30 minutes into the process, he said to me, in a very distressed way, by the way, we've discovered a base on the backside of the moon. And then he proceeded to put photographs down in front of me, and clearly in these photographs were structures, mushroom-shaped buildings, spherical buildings, and towers. And at that point, I was very concerned because I knew we were working on compartmentalized security. He had breached security, and I was actually frightened at that moment. And I did not question him any further. And a few moments later, someone did come into the room. I worked there for 3 more days, and I remember going home and naively thinking, I can't wait to hear about this on the evening news. And here it is, more than 30 years later, and I hope we hear about it tonight. And I will testify under oath before Congress that what I'm saying is the truth.
So pretty interesting information from him. That was the first time I heard about that several years ago, and it's always blown my mind that he came forward and he talked about that. Now, a lot of people are possibly wondering why he wasn't in the recent UFO or UAP conference where the Congress brought several whistleblowers forward and they talked about this information. You guys know this happened earlier last year, towards the middle of last year and stuff. But a lot of people are not aware that he actually died at the age of 74. I believe it was in 2018. And he was actually bicycling. There's an article on, I'll leave a link in the description as well. He was actually bicycling at the age of 74 and he got hit, and he was killed when he got hit. Pretty interesting right there, but I'll leave a link below to this description, or to this actual article, so you guys can read through that. And we're going to go to our last person that's going to actually talk, and this is pretty interesting too. I did do a short on it, but listen to what he has to say.
Let's get to when it was it Neil Armstrong landed on the moon, and he said that thing that you heard him say, and Michael wants to get real specific about this. So basically there were 7 huge craft there, and you said on one of the shows out there, you said that the reptilians actually showed up beneath their craft and they gave the finger.
Okay, they were parked around the side of the crater.
Yeah.
Okay, they were not parked on it, they were
Right.
floating above it.
Okay, yeah.
So there were hundreds of these 9-foot reptilian guys standing with their legs.
Hundreds.
Yeah, they were all the way across the underneath their vehicles,
Okay,
standing
so
on the
9
crater.
feet.
And his testimony is pretty interesting as well. There's about a 2 or 3 minute interview out there where he talks about particular aliens, these reptilians, and also these grays and stuff. Now, some of the grays he does describe do look like these gray or skinny Bob or Ebian as they're calling them nowadays, where they have the large heads, large eyes, they're black. I've heard different rumors about these, that these things may be androids or robots. That's kind of why they move the way they do. I've heard that there's little aliens inside their head controlling the whole body, so I don't know, but we'll get into that at a later point in time this year. But the stuff about the moon has always been interesting. There's tons of videos out there where people are talking about a lot of these craters and stuff are actually structures, and they have things underneath the structure. So put down in the comments below if you guys have heard anything else about anything being on the moon. I've heard a lot of stuff about it, but I'm interested in what you guys have to say about this. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this with your friends, and then stay tuned for the next video. Appreciate you guys watching.
Thank you.